Who's there?
It's Wendy.
Wendy who?
When do you think we can protect Indonesia's cultural heritage? Indonesia is not just a country, but it's also a museum of history.
From ancient temples to religious landmarks, every site tells a story.
But many of these places are soon beginning to be forgotten.
So now we're taking you to a journey across time.
To explore Indonesia's cultural heritage.
Welcome to Prambanan Temple, built in the 9th century during the Mataram Kingdom.
It is the largest Hindu complex in Indonesia and is dedicated to the god Shiva.
The tall structures represent Mount Meru, the home of the gods.
The temple is made out of dark stones with tall pointed towers and detailed carvings on the walls.
It functioned as a place of Hindu worship and royal ceremonies.
This site is very important because it shows the greatness and advancement of ancient Hindu civilization in Indonesia.
Today, it is well maintained, however, still shows some damage from earthquakes and weathering.
After all these years, Prambanan still stands proudly today.
And that's how advanced ancient Indonesian civilizations really were.
However, Indonesia's history isn't only influenced by Hindu culture.
Another great kingdom left behind this incredible legacy.
One that represents peace, spirituality, and enlightenment.
Now let's continue our journey to the next kingdom.
This is Borobudur. It is built in the 8th-9th century in the Silandia dynasty.
It represents the journey of enlightenment of Buddhist belief. Hey, what's the structure like again?
Borobudur's structure is a stone-like pyramid with circular levels and lots of Buddha statues on top.
It has many carvings, thousands maybe, telling stories about Buddha's teaching.
It is also a place for worship and pilgrimage.
The site is very important because it shows Buddhist philosophy and Indonesia's cultural identity.
This day, it is well maintained, however, under pressure due to lots of tourism.
Where signs appear because of tourists touching and walking on the structures.
Borobudur teaches us about spirituality and worship through its architecture.
But over time, Indonesia continues to experience several major cultural changes.
New beliefs, kingdoms, and traditions are spread across the archipelago.
One of the biggest influence was the arrival of Islamic culture.
And with it comes new form of architecture, art, and places of worship.
So now let's visit one of the oldest Islamic landmarks in Indonesia.
Did you know that this is the Great Mosque of Demak, built in the 15th century of the Demak Sultanate?
It played an important role in spreading Islam in Indonesia.
It is built using unique wooden pillars, layering roofs, and a set of dome.
It functions as a place of worship and community gathering.
This site is important because it represents the early development of Islamic culture in Indonesia.
Today, it is well maintained and still actively used.
However, it is seen that modern buildings has reduced the original historical atmosphere. The Great Mosque of Demak shows how Islamic culture really shaped Indonesia's history.
But Indonesia's cultural journey does not end there.
During the colonial period, European influences how we shape our buildings and how we shape our traditions.
This created a mix between local and foreign cultures that can still be seen until today.
One great example is a historical church located in Semarang.
Now let's head to another important heritage site that is from a different era.
This is the Bandung Church, built in the 18th century during the Dutch colonial period.
It has strong European architectural influence.
The building is white with a large round dome and tall doors.
It functions as a Christian worship place.
This site is very important because it reflects Indonesian colonial history and also cultural diversity.
Today, it is well maintained as a heritage site. But however, many heritage sites nowadays are not as well maintained. Even though some heritage sites are well preserved, however, many are slowly being forgotten.
Damage from pollution, natural disasters, and human activities continues to threaten the historical sites.
Without public awareness, preservation will become much more difficult. So, the question is, what can we do to help preserve Indonesia's heritage?
So here are some actions that we can start by doing today.
If we don't take action, many cultural sites could disappear.
These places are not just buildings, they are a part of our identity.
As young people, we have the power to help protect them.
We must visit responsibly and follow site rules.
We can help spread awareness by using social media or digital campaigns.
And we can also support preservation programs whenever it's possible. Even a small action can make a big impact.
We can learn more about Indonesia's history and teach others why it's considered important to learn about one's history.
By respecting these historical sites, we can make sure they stay preserved for our future generations.
Taking photographies in these sites are allowed. However, we still need to maintain protection of what's inside.
So today, we encourage everyone watching this video to help respect this historical site to preserve our cultural history for our future generations.
Because protecting history, such as this site and many others, comes from us making simple actions.
Our history shows who we are.
If we forget about our past, we risk losing our future.
Cultural heritage is a responsibility that we all need to share.
And the time to act is now. Every mosque, temple, church, and historical sites still carry stories generations before us.
These sites will make us remember just how rich Indonesia's culture, diversity, and history is. If we care about them today, future generations after us are still able to learn from them and use them freely.
Cultural heritage is not only about preserving buildings, however, it is also talking about preserving our identities.
So let's start to appreciate, protect, and respect our Indonesia's cultural heritage.
Let's protect Indonesia's cultural heritage together.
I just had to let you know you're